Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone. Here is Sam Zahabi from Career Industry Engagement Office at Majan University College. Let's welcome our guest for today, Miss Badriya Al-Balushi. Inshallah, today she will present about how to prepare for job interviews. She's from Sahara Aluminium Company. For sure, she will introduce herself and enjoy. See you later. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to you all. I'm so glad to see you all today attending this workshop, which will be about how to prepare for the interview. My name is Badriya Abdullah Al-Balushi from Sahar Aluminium Company. I'm certified trainer in interactive skills. Today we'll be having, inshallah, this workshop for 1 hour. During the 1 hour, I will be giving you the information. For me personally, I don't like to have only one side talk or one part talk. I would like to have knowledge sharing. Me and you, both parties, can participate. If you have any question, any inquiry, you just raise a hand, or we'll wait till end of the session. By then we can discuss and you raise your questions and your your questions. Thank you very much, Ms. Ibtisam, for the organizing and for the invitation. And I think I have to start now. Yes, today's workshop will be about the interview skills. All of us, it's not about you are graduated recently from colleges or universities and I'm experienced and something else. How to prepare for the interview? It's applicable for all. For those people who are just fresh graduated from the colleges and university, for experienced people, for whomever. Even though for those people who would like to attend a meeting, it's not interview, the preparation is one of the most important thing we have to take care about it. We have to know exactly what type or what kind of occasion I'm going to attend. Like, for example, you got an invitation to attend a wedding, or you got an invitation to get an important meeting with Wali or governor or whomever, those people from senior position. What you are going to do? The first thing that will comes to your mind is the preparation. Okay, let's say you get an invitation to attend a wedding, and you decide to go for this wedding. You will start thinking what I'm going to wear. Like for gents, what kind of masar I'm going to wear, my dishdasha, the color of the dishdasha, the material itself, the Omani khanjar for the ladies, what the brand of the handbag I'm going to take with me to attend the wedding, what type of a dress, which designer, which makeup artist I will go for. The same story should happen or should apply if you get an invitation from the employer or from the organization. From the time that you send your application for job, for vacancy, or job opportunity, you have to prepare yourself and you have to be ready. Max days or max period given by the employer, by the organization to the candidates, it's 3 days. It's 3 days. Do not put yourself in a corner where you have no time for the preparation. Within 3 days, what you are going to do, what you are going to read, to which website you have to go. From the time that you send your resume, your CV to the application or your application to the job vacancy, you have to start prepare yourself for the interview or for the assessment, written assessment. Today we'll have like a quick session or a quick workshop about how to prepare for the interview. I don't know whether you can see my screen. Okay, what we are going to learn in this workshop, we are going to talk about how to deal with anxiety, with like nervous. Why do I need to go for the interview? Type of interviews, preparation, questions that you have to ask before the interview, things you have to remember during the interview, and the frequent questions to ask or questions to be asked after the interviews, and how to deal with a salary question, and what do you do after the interview. These are the points, or this is the agenda which we are going to talk about it this evening. Dealing with anxiety. You will be a normal person if you did not feel nervous. Yeah, the normal people who feel nervous, but do not let this nervous or anxiety taking you from the mood or from the interview atmosphere. No, you have to control yourself. You have to be confident. Yes, you are nervous, but do not show this nervous to the interviewer. Otherwise, you will lose the control. You will find yourself in a corner, and people saying, "Thank you very much. Up to here, you cannot control yourself." I can share with you one of the experience I have faced on one of the interviews I have attended. I called the guy for the interview. He came. He cannot even take the pen in his hand. It was like shaky. Sweetie, I cannot control. He cannot control himself. Then I said, "Thank you very much. Just a drink cup of water. Go out. Come here after 5 minutes." The same story. Imagine, he said, "Thank you very much. I cannot continue with you." And he lost the opportunity because of the nervous. Maybe lack of preparation, maybe because it's the first time for him to attend an interview. I don't know what was the reason, but the result was he lost the opportunity. And the opposition was for communication, which is one of the most important skills facing people. If you feel nervous and you cannot control yourself in front of the audience, how you will be in a communication department? So the first thing that you have, take deep breath before the interview. Take a 5 minutes for yourself. Take a breath up, in and out, then go for the interview. Do not put yourself in a corner where you cannot take a breath. Always take the interview. It's like normal chat. It's like sharing experience. As I'm always telling the candidates, it's about sharing knowledge, sharing experience. We are seeking for a perfect or a right people in a right place. So prove that you are the one. Prove to me and convince me as an employer, as an organization, as an interviewer, that yes, you are the one. We have different type of interviews. We have structured and we have non-structured interviews. People are like going for non-structured interviews. It's like an open discussion. Tell me about yourself, your achievement, what you have done during your past 2 to 3 years. It's like an open discussion. But the structured interviews, it's structured 1, 2, 3. Tell me about yourself, then your experience, then your motivation, then why you want to have this job, and all of this stuff. Both of them are right, but it depends on the employer, or it depends on the organization, whether they are going to go for the structured interview or non-structured interview. But be ready for both. Don't say, "Yeah, I think they will go for a structured interview." No. You make yourself ready for both, or for any type of interviews. It's not only one type. We have different types of the interviews. We have telephonic interviews. The goal of telephonic interviews is to filter. Like, for example, I have 50 candidates applying for the job, and all of them are shortlisted and meeting the job criteria. What the employer will do? of course, they will not invite all of them to the organization itself. No, they will go for the telephonic interview to filter all of them, to filter those people, and to find best of the best. And also, we are using telephonic interview if I have a candidate from like different place, from different countries, and even from Sultanate, but they are from Masandam or they are from Salalah, so they will not take all the way to Sohar or to Muscat to have the interview. So first, telephonic interview to gain or goal to win the face-to-face interview. And in this type of interviews, make yourself ready and your CV in front of you. Talk slowly and be in a safe, quiet place. Like what happened now in this virtual meetings. Nowadays, people are using the online meetings because of the pandemic, or online interviews or online workshops because of the pandemic, and cannot gather everyone at one place. What we should do all, if we are using virtual meetings or if we are using an online meetings or online workshops, be in a safe, quiet place where no interruption from here or there. Just be quiet, talk slowly, and put your CV in front of you, especially if you are graduated. Or even for those people who are experienced, of course, you will be asked from your interview, from your CV. Panel interview, question from one, answer to all. Like what happened usually now. We have 3 people as a panel, we are called it as a panel, and interviewer, and you are the candidate will sit in front of them. They are 3 or maybe 4. We have HR representative, we have the line representative, and we have third party. Will be not from HR, not from the department, which is the job or the vacation, or sorry, the vacant position from other department, but he has a knowledge on the position itself. Like if the position is electrical engineer, will bring people who are having an electrical background, of course, not people who are having IT background. So those 3 or those 4, it's not exceeding 4 interviewer. They are all, one of them will ask the question, but the answer which you will be given or which you will give them all. Now, how to prepare for the interview? From, as I said previously, from the time that you apply for a job, for this vacant position, you go and search, you go and read, you go and ask. Do not sit and wait till the time of the interview and you know nothing. You go to the interview and okay, no idea, I don't know. No. The big mistake people are taking or people are having it is when they have an interview, they go at the reception area at the organization and start reading, start Googling, start searching. Where are you? Hey, come on, where are you? Since you get the call, or from the time that you have applied for. I do remember one time, one candidate, he scored very high at the assessment, and he go for the next stage, which is the face-to-face interview. I called him one time, second time, third time, and then I said, but his phone was off, and then ringing. He's like somewhere else than the country, the Sultanate. Then I started asking about him on his, relatives. I came to know that he is traveled to Thailand. What? To Thailand? How come? But you have applied for a job, and you went for the assessment, and you scored very high. But even though if you go for the assessment, for written assessment, you shouldn't go to anywhere unless you make sure that the interview or the organization that you have applied in will not call me during this time, or unless you have a necessary or emergency, let me say. Do not do it. If you apply for a job and you go for assessment, you have to start, wait, and to search to see this organization in which, is it in a private or public sector? Is it products or services? What the challenges? Ask people who are in similar job. If you apply for a job, for an engineering job or IT job, you go and ask for those people who are the same field. What's the nature of the job? What's the challenges? Everything's relating to the job, to the position that you have applied for. Predict, guess, توقع, خمن. What type of questions and what the answer of that question? Okay, what they are going to ask me, what's the date or what's the time, the working time for the organization. Okay, the answer is so and so. Okay, they are going to ask me about my graduation project. Yes, the answer will be so and so. Gather the whole data and the whole information and keep it in front of your eyes, not in the interview itself, before the interview. And start reading, memorize them, repeat them in your mind, rather than taking your phone and calling and googling and go for these websites and or the social media for celebrities or whatever. Take your time. It's your future. In fact, if you want to win, prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. Believe me, if you are well prepared, you will not face any difficulties in the interview. It will go smoothly, and you will convince the employer, yes, he is the right person, and I'm going to go for him or for her. Don't put yourself in a corner where you cannot go back. Said, you do not regret that if I could do this, I will not face this. You go to the interview, you watch the sitting position. Do not sit like where you are like watching TV like this or thinking in another world. No. Eye contact should be there. You should have an eye contact with the whole interview panel. Sit conversory, middle of the chair. Do not sit in the corner. They are not going to eat you. It's, as I told you, it's a knowledge sharing. If you feel nervous, you can do it just like this, just to reduce the temperature, if I can say. But do not crack your fingers. Do not play with your hair. Do not make any movement which can annoy people the rest. Remember always, as I told you, if you are not nervous, you are not a natural person, but do not let it consume you. Do not let this nervous to take your opportunity away and to crush your dreams. No, control yourself, and you am quite sure, I'm 100% sure that you will be able and you will win if you have a good preparation. That's the benefit from this workshop. How to prepare yourself, how to be ready that day, and I will call it the occasion day, the interview day. Wake up in the morning with a big smile. Do not take a paper with you. Do not take a notes. Do not take anything, because you are well prepared already. Like if you have an exam, are you going to revise the sessions the day of the exam? Of course not, unless you are lazy or you don't care. You just want the qualification. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to study. I just want to sit in front of Netflix or beIN Sport or whatever, or in front of the mobile phone, and that's it. It's more than enough for me. My father rich and my mother is working. I don't want to go for a job. Why I should bring a headache to me? If you are like this, you just ignore. Do not waste your time and others' time. But if you are serious, you have to be serious from that time. and you have to be ready, and you have to have your smile up at the day of the interview. Now we are finished. Class, we are at the organization, waiting in the reception or at the waiting room, waiting for people in HR to come and call me. Okay. If your interview at 9 a.m., do not come at 9:30. Otherwise, people will say, from the beginning, he or she doesn't have the time management. Sorry, I started early from home, but I faced car accident at road. You should put in your mind, if the organization that you are going to in Muscat and you are from Sohar, it's 2 hours far, 250 if I'm not wrong, Sohar far from Muscat. So you will be having 2 hours to reach to that place. Sorry, my dear, you have to have 3 hours. Do not waste your time. The day before, you have to go to sleep to the bed early and then wake up early, fresh, start up. Give yourself a chance. You might face a car accident. The road may be crowded, especially to Muscat. And Muscat roads all are busy, and every time it's busy. What about the morning time? You might face a police checkpoint. You might don't know the place, the organization place, and you need to have a Google or sort of the navigator to help you to reach that place. No. You have to be at the reception or the waiting room, the organization, at least 15 to 20 minutes ahead of the time. Show your enthusiasm, but do not be over it. Yani don't be like overconfident. Yes, I'm the one. Like this. Show your enthusiasm, but I should have balance. Positive, honest. This is I'm talking about during the interview. Yes. As I told you, your eye contact. Should you have an eye contact with everyone? Never ever talk badly about your colleague or about your teacher or about your ex-manager. Otherwise, people will write down in their notes X. In one day, you will talk about them as well. Highlight your strengths and your achievements. Tell me I don't have an achievement. All of us having an achievement in our life, otherwise will be meaningless. My achievement is so and so. Yes, I have graduated from colleges or university. I'm now having the qualification. Everyone have the qualification. Nowadays, people are studying and they will go for the bachelor or diploma or whatever. Always highlight your strength and your achievement, which is top of the list. You make your own business, you depend on yourself, and I'm quite sure that our students right now, or this time nowadays, are strong, creative. I'm always facing people are still on the chair of the universities and colleges, but they are wow, they're creative. They have their own business, they have their own online website, they have a lot of things, which is great. Which is great. Highlight this, please, especially if you are graduate. For those people who are experienced, of course, they will be having lots of the achievement, but talk about it. Talk about your achievement and your strength. Focus on adding value. Adding value to yourself, to the organization, business. Always put in your mind that Descartes, if I'm not wrong, said أنا أفكر إذا أنا موجود. Don't say like I don't have. Well, my strength is I don't know. My achievement is like I got the qualification and now I'm aiming to get my master degree. What's the value you are going to add to the organization? Well, I will be on time. It's not a value. This is what you have to do. You have to be on time at the organization. Here is the frequent questions during the interview. What's your career goal? You should have a career goal, short and long term. What you are going to do? Why do you want this job? Yes, I want the job because I want salary by end of the month. Because I want to get married. No. Why do you achieve or how do you achieve your goal? You should have a perfect answer. I will achieve my goal because I will put my plan. I will complete my study to get, if I have diploma, I'll get a bachelor. If I have a bachelor, I will get the master. Yes, I will go and read and search to develop myself. How do you describe yourself? Tell me how you describe yourself. I'm Badriya Al-Balushi. I'm working in Sohar Aluminium. No, I have graduated from College of Technology. And this is all in your CV in front of them. Yes, I'm Badriya Al-Balushi. I'm ambitious. I'm always looking for a job to improve myself, to develop my skills, and to apply what I have learned on the chair of the colleges or universities. I choose my specialization because my personality is like I'm outgoing lady, so I would like to deal with people and like to have this challenges work. Why choose? Now the interviewer will ask you, why should I choose you? Yes, because I'm Balushi. Yes, because I'm from Saham. No. Yes, because I have a knowledge, because I have studied and scored a very high marks, and I have my own plan to achieve it. I'm ambitious. The company will get benefit from it because you have this and this system, and they have a development plan to enhance the system that you have. You always should show to the interviewer that you are, yes, you read carefully about the organization and you know what's happened and what's your greatest achievement? As I told you, yes, my greatest achievement, I scored #1 during my study at the colleges and universities or at the university. Always ask logically. Stop dreaming. Don't dream. Don't dream during the interview. Otherwise, you will wake up, a cup of water on your face. Do not dream. Be realistic. خليك واقعي. Do not lie, because immediately they will discover that you are lying. What you are saying is not true. Be always realistic. Now, how to answer behavioral questions? We have something called STAR methodology, which is you will be given a situation, okay? But before that, you have to prepare. You have to listen carefully to the question. You have to think the event, plan, organize in 5 to 8 seconds. The interviewer will give you like a scenario or a case. You tell me. Always put in your mind the STAR methodology. S is the situation. T is the task. A is the action, and R is the result. In the situation, you start to provide the context, background, our customer, like the situation itself, what it's about. Then you go to the task, which is the problem, the challenges that you have faced. Okay, then what you have did in order to solve this problem, and what's the result you got by end of the day, or by end of the situation. Be organized. Do not jump immediately to the conclusion. Now the interviewer will ask you, do not okay, no, do not jump in between. No, just wait till they finish their question, and this scenario, and then you think a little bit. Okay, take a deep breath. Okay, now, so and so. Believe me, the will preparation for the start, before the start of the interview, during the interview, and then you will go to the behavioral questions. The start methodology, you will answer it easily. You will manage to answer. You will manage to answer this question or this type of questions. Now, after the interview, what you want to ask? People will ask you, do you have anything you want to ask for? Yes, please. What will be my responsibilities? Let's say how many, how much I will earn by end of the month. Okay. Whom I will work with this way? No. You always be calm, be realistic, and be polite. Polite. Please, may I know what's my responsibilities? Okay. How I will be measured? Is there any KPIs, key performance indicator I will be given in order to measure my performance? Do you want to do not show that today I'm applying for a technician position like or engineering, then after what time I will go for a next promotion? Huh? Just wait. You are in an interview. You are not yet signed the offer. No, don't go for this. What's your training program? You can ask. What kind of team I will work with? Nationality? Are they experienced? Are they graduated or what? Here is my presentation on my workshop. I try to give you like a tips. You will need to go by yourself and read. You will need to go and search to develop your skills and to improve your knowledge and to prove that you are not only graduated with a qualification, which is piece of paper that if I can say, I'm not underestimating, but this is what happened. Your qualification is to apply for the job, is to meet the criteria, but it's not to prove or it's not to convince that yes, your skills is your passport to attend the interview or to gain the work or to gain the job, sorry, the opportunity. This is your skills. It's your passport to go and take this opportunity, to do not lose it. You always think, you always give your time chance to win. Do not sit by end of the day regret and say, if I could do this, I will be avoiding this. Why I did not go and ask? Do not hesitate to ask at all. Do not hesitate to ask. Do not hesitate to go and search. If you are, put yourself in a situation where you feel shy to ask, if I go and ask, people will say, I don't know, I knew nothing, I'm always getting the qualification and I'm empty. No, my dear. اسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون. It's easy. It's easy. You just take your phone. Yeah, I have applied in a job in this organization. Could you please give me like a quick idea about what happened in this organization or the position itself, what it's about? Or, okay, I have read about the position, but something it's not clear to me. Could you please explain to me more? Ask your colleague, ask your father, ask your friends, ask your whomever can help you in this situation. If you put yourself where no, I knew everything, you are overconfident will be. You will go to nowhere. Easily. 1 + 1 = 2. It's not about like yes, because I'm graduated and I scored high score, so easily they will pick me. The organization also looking eagerly for me. No, my dear. Sometimes you scored high because you study well, but you didn't know what type of skills. You are not prepared yourself for the interview. You did not develop your skills. You did not read, you did not search, you did not ask. From my experience, I have faced people who are really, deserve, and they got hired. Moreover, if you did not win and if you did not take this opportunity and you did not be picked, don't cry at all. Make sure that you put your fingerprint there, and you are the second choice or from those top three, but always leave a good impression. The first impression is very important, very important to you as a candidate. Maybe you didn't know by a certain time you will be called by one of the organization. Hello, Muhammad, you've been selected for this opportunity or for this job. We have a vacant position. Would you like to attend? Or how you came to know about me? Yeah, because I was attending one of the workshops, and people in HR told me that you been for the interview, but unfortunately at that time you are not selected, but they kept you in the list because you did well. في الجنة درجات. So now, even at the interviews, always you will be having scores. You will have 1, 2, 3rd, 4th, 10th, end of the list. So always prepare yourself well and come with a big smile. Not come like, yes, wearing good masar, wearing good material of the dishdasha, but you are empty. Do not come by a very nice perfume and very branded handbag, but you don't know about the interview. You come and like this, do this, or nervous or whatever. No, the preparation is the 50%, if it's not 60%, of gaining or of winning the opportunity. That's my end of the presentation for today. Please, if you have anything you want to ask or you would like to have any discussion, any clarification, please feel free. Ms. Ibtisam, it's back to you.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Bedriya. Okay, we have many questions here actually. Abdullah Yahyai asked about what the best answer for weaknesses point or strength point.
Can you please say again?
What's the best answer for weaknesses point or strength point? He means strength point.
Great.
Yes.
Great. Very good question. In fact, Abdullah, thank you very much. The best answer for this question is everyone has a weakness and everyone has a strength. I'm working to develop my weaknesses, and I'm working to enhance or to maintain or to develop my strength. Like I'm strong in knowledge sharing. I can stand and give a presentation to the audience, but sometimes I feel shy if the audience are like managerial level. So I have to work on this. Do not say, yeah, because my strength is to Google and search and go for attending meeting on time, but my weakness is I cannot recall. I'm not taking notes. No. The best answer is, as I told you, is yes, I have a weakness and I have, of course, a strength. My weakness, I have to work on it, have to read more, have to develop my skills in order to close the gap. And my strength, I'm working also to enhance it and to come up with a very good gap. This is the perfect answer I can say. But as I told you, don't be lie. Yes, I'm not lying. My strength is I'm honest, I'm hard worker, always on time. I have my not always, but my strength, and I don't have any weaknesses. Sorry. Only رب العالمين is the perfect. كمال لله وحده. All having weaknesses and strengths.
Okay, the second question by Amira Aziz. She said, what is the appropriate way to ask about the salary?
Appropriate way to ask about the salary?
Yes.
Well, the salary question always people try to avoid it during the interview, even though for the when the employer when the interviewer asking you how much you are expecting, you can answer as per the company policy. This is the perfect answer. But the proper way, if you are experienced, of course, يعني all of us not only looking for the if I apply for a job, it's not only about the job itself or about the money, but it's not, do not put it like the first priority. If you are, for example, that you are graduate, will not make, from my viewpoint, it will not make that much different if you are gaining 500 or 1,000. Always take the stairs from the first step, and one day you will find yourself at the top of the stair, and you're gaining not only 1,000, maybe more than 1,000. A proper way to ask about the salary is, okay, now I'm experienced and currently I'm gaining like 1.5 riyals, 1,500 riyals. So I'm expecting, of course, more than this by difference, at least by 200. You give them, you answer, and you ask and you answer at the same time. Yes, I'm experienced, but do not tell them in a way that okay, how much you will give me? Okay, if you are earning now 2,000 and I'm going to offer you 1,500, are you going to accept the challenge? Well, if the opportunity is deserved and I can sacrifice. ممكن أضحي ب100 200 مقابل إنه أنا I found myself in a position, in higher position than what I have now. Hopefully I have answered your question perfectly.
All right. Okay, we have here a question from Qais al-Battashi. He said, how to deal with a hard questions that you didn't prepare for, how to deal with this situation. In general, he means how to answer the hard questions.
I love the questions. Escape, but in a diplomatic way. Escape in a way, do not let them feel that you did not read. Sometimes they ask you a question, hard question, but no answer for that question at all. But they want to see you, how you will deal with it. They want to see you, how you will deal with this difficult situation. Okay, thank you very much for your question. In fact, if I do this, the result will do that. And if you found yourself that you don't know how to answer, sorry, I have no idea. Don't lie. Do not lie, because easily you will be picked that you are a liar and you didn't have the answer. And believe me, nowadays with this situation, with the market and with the pandemic, what other circumstances at the market, the interviewers are very smart. They are asking questions just to test your ability to answer. That you are going to take one step back, or you are going to fight to answer, or you are going to escape, or to admit, sorry, I have no answer. The hard questions, it's not about the answer, it's about how to manage and how you will answer, how to escape from that situation, from that square, in a safe way, if I can say.
Right. Okay, we have one more question. It's a long question actually by Amira Aziz. Okay, she said, if the recruiters asks about experience, which actually I haven't had yet, so how do I deal with this? Because usually the organizations prefer to have an experienced person than someone new or the fresh graduates.
Graduates.
Yes.
See, my opinion, nobody has no experience. Don't say at all that, sorry, I don't have an experience. You studied 5 years and you didn't have an experience? Means you are poor. You studied 12 years at a school and you end up with a result where getting like 95 or 80% at the secondary school, and you manage to go to the universities, and you're saying not have an experience. Moreover, my dear Amira, you will not be called for an experience position while you are graduate. No. The organizations, if they are releasing any advert or any vacancy or any position externally, they will put the criteria if they want experienced people and if they want graduates people. So if you're applying for a job and the requirements or the criteria is having an experience, immediately you should filter yourself that no, it's not suit for me. It's not because I didn't have an experience. You always, when you read, and this is my advice to you all, my dears, either if you are experienced or you are graduates, do not apply on a job where they want the organization need an experience, and you call the recruitment section and saying why I don't been selected for at least to having an exam or to having the written assessment, because it's mentioned clearly that the organization looking for an experienced people. They are not looking for graduates. And the vice versa. If you are an experienced people, of course, you will not apply for a position where they need an graduates people or graduates students. Always, Amira, always you all, my dears, filter or do a screening for yourself and match your experience, your resume with the position that it's offered at the market or at the website of the organizations.
All right. Okay, we have here one more question from Samira Al-Marzouqi. She said, why we should select you for this position?
Great, very nice questions. Why I should select you? Yes, because I came to know that the organization, if you like, for example, you are having an qualification in IT and the position in IT, yeah, why you should select me? Not because I'm Badriya Al-Balushi, not because I'm having a qualification, bachelor or diploma or whatever, because I came to know that the company use an SAP system, and I know they are facing difficulties and so, and I read and I found that I have an experience where I can develop the system. Yes, because I have read that the organization having a policies and procedures about how to use the company website, but they are facing issue and so, and they have this and that. You know, now you are telling the interviewers, wow. You know what? I will share an experience with you. I had an interview for a communication position. And I have like 5 candidates, if I'm not wrong. The last candidate, it was like 4 p.m. I called him. He came with the company magazine, or a monthly magazine, I can say, if I can recall, and he was reading it. He kept it in aside. Then I asked him, why we should select you? He said, because I have opened the magazine, the company magazine, and I found some of the errors or mistakes. I have found that there is another way to publish this magazine in order to have it or read it and too many people, so it's to be exclusive for the company, employees. At that time, we all, as an interviewer, thought ourselves like we have a very smart candidate and be selected because he was a picky person. He is from communication background. He has a qualification of communication. He was utilizing his knowledge and his time while he was waiting at the reception area or the waiting room to see exactly, yes, by this way, believe me, my dear, you will be selected. If you answer this question perfectly, even if you didn't select at that time, you will be at the list, at the waiting list, where the organization called you even after the certain time. Personally, I have called one guy after 1 year, the time of the interview. He was shocked. Are you serious? After 1 year? I said, yes. At that time, someone else scored higher than you, but we found that you are skilled, very skilled and well-educated person. That's why you've been called now. So always the preparation. You will, and if you are well prepared, you will end up with a good result.
Perfect answer. Okay. Sidra asked if a person cannot look in the eyes of manager in the interview, so how can can the person cope up with that?
Why you cannot? Why you cannot? You know why you cannot look at their eyes and you have an eye contact? Because you are not confident. Be confident. The interview is about knowledge sharing from both parties. Be confident. Always. Now I'm in front of this screen, but I did not see you. But my eyes is on the screen because I know you people are staring at me. You people are with me. Although I did not see you physically, but I'm still having my eye contact with you, and I'm sure that you are as well. Let's say I cannot look at others' eyes. This itself a skills as well. If you start put yourself up here, there, my dear, how you will attend a meetings, how you will handle a project, and you will be having a team. You have to be strong. You have to believe in yourself. That's it. Believe in yourself. You are not doing something wrong. You are not doing something hard. All what you need to do is believe in yourself and be confident. And yes, thank you very much for your question. My answer is like so. It's a start. The eye contact is not for the time of the interview only. No, you should have the eye contact skills in any time and everywhere at any circumstance. How you are facing your family, your father, your mother, your friends. Those are people. They are human. That's why I said you take a breath and you go for the interview well prepared and smile up. Always keep your smile up. Even you don't know the answer, you just smile. Sorry, I have no idea about this. That's it. Believe me, you will leave a good impression. And nowadays, the world is small, like a small village. You might face me and okay, you are Badriya. Yeah, I had an interview with you. Do you remember me? Was yeah, you are Amira, you are Moza, you are Fatma. I remembered when it was the interview, your smile was up and you managed to escape from that question. But don't take it a funny way. or the interview or 1 hour of the interview, you are, oh, no, take it serious. Should have balance. Believe me, improve your eye contact skills, you will be number 1.
And I will add one thing. If already she knows her weaknesses, she can just practice and practice the situation of interview to avoid
Exactly.
sorry. Okay, we have one more question from Ahmed Al-Ghafri. He said, give us something as a gift or key to get an interview.
والله you deserve يعني more than a gift يا أحمد. As a gift, my dear, believe in yourself. توكل على الله. Don't say I cannot. Don't say I'm unlucky. Be optimistic always. Ask and ask and ask. Search. Develop your skills. Don't take it personally. Don't take the emotion. Don't let your emotion is controlling you. Here I remember a situation where I was shocked. Not last week, this week, I got a call from one lady. She was called for the interview, and she's graduate, by the way. She attended the assessment, but unfortunately, she did not manage to pass the assessment. She called me, hey guys, why you did not come back to us? It's for a long time now since the time of the interview. I was like, huh? Sorry, what's your name? No need to mention my name. I know, to put me in a blacklist. She's talking harshly and politely. And then I managed to know who is she. Do you think in one day I will call her as an organization? Or next, if she applied and she passed and she reached to the interview stage, I will be ready. My dear, do not put yourself in a situation people are avoiding you. Organizations doesn't want troublemakers at this workstation. You are, as a graduate, you are the gift for the organizations because you are well educated, you are just graduated, fresh blood. You have the gift. You are the gift for the organizations. You just believe in yourself. And you read and ask. This is the gift. Don't ask me to give you a gift. I treated you, I'm always treating you as a graduate. You are the gift for the organization. Just during this week, we have 7 graduates engineer join the company. They are very smart. Are they different than you? No. All similar to each other, regardless the organization that you have graduated from. Is it in the Sultanate, outside the Sultanate, anywhere? We all have a brain. We all think. We all have skills. Let's say I don't have skills. I'm graduated. You have skills because you are. I might be having a very good English, but I don't know how to talk. I might have and decorate in certain specialization, but I don't have the skills. I don't have an eye contact skills. By the way, I love the question of eye contact. Ahmed, you are the gift for the organization. And I'm giving you a gift. Believe in yourself. Tawakkal ala Allah and go ahead. And I'm sure I will meet you in one day and you will tell me that I'm Ahmed. Do you remember that day?
Sure. For sure. Everyone can add a value for the organization, for sure.
Definitely.
All right. Okay, we have here one question from Sarah Al-Kasmi. She said, what's your leadership style? How should I answer that question?
Your leadership style, this question, my dear Sarah, they will not ask you if you are not in a leadership position. If you apply for a leadership position, means you are experienced, means you have faced such situation or such position. You will be having the answer immediately. Leadership something built in. I believe on that. If you know how to lead a team, you can read this from your history at the colleges, universities, or even at school. If you are a strong lady, if you are you can lead a team and have we have this project at the school, for example, or no, forget about the school, the graduation project. Of course, you all had a graduation project for the sake of graduation. During that time, you will be having a team, or you had a team. If you are the lead, top of the, taking the lead for the project, you should know what's your style of leading. You have a micromanagement, or I'm not going to take you deeply on this big terminology, which is, for my view, it's not necessary at the stage, especially as I said, if you are a graduate. But if you manage to lead a team during your studying time, you will be having this skill. But if you are not applying, as I said, for a job of leadership, you will not be asked this question at all. Leadership comes with practicing, having different positions. At that time, you will be asked, yes, a question about the leadership. Otherwise, you will not fit.
We have one more question here from Amira Aziz. She said, do we have to clarify our rights as an employee from the first meeting?
Can you repeat again, please?
Sure. Do we her question said, do we have to clarify our rights as an employee from the first meeting?
Our rights?
Yes.
The rights? What do you mean by rights? حقوق?
Yes, she means حقوق.
Okay, and she meant at the interview itself?
Yes, from the first meeting, from the first interview with recruiters.
Okay.